Before watching this film, I was stumped seeing that Madame Web and Morbius have better cinema score than Joker Folie do. Then after watching this film, I kinda see those films being at the same level. I want to say my initial thoughts about going into the film and after watching this film. I enjoy the first Joker film, as it is a brilliant take on severe mental illness and how society treat those who are mentally ill as outcasts, as well as Joaquin Phoenix's performance, the score, and the aesthetic of the film. When I heard Joker 2 was going to be a musical with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, I immediately thought this was going to be an origin story of Harley Quinn, and we are seeing the aftermath of Joker 1 through her perspective as a psychiatrist to Arthur Fleck. Then when the trailer came out revealing the film is going to be a courtroom drama, makes me, confident of seeing Joker becoming the prince of crime with the help of Harley Quinn and his supporters. But then when the reviews came out with Rotten Tomatoes reaching 33%, with an IMDb rating of 5.3, a Letterboxd review of 2.5, and many more that were not so positive, it got me very interested because I just couldn't believe it. Joker 2, with this cinematography, the same composer as the first one, the same director as the first one, and with Joaquin Phoenix returning as Joker himself, I keep asking myself, how? Then after watching it, I get it.
We'll talk then. I haven't got all morning.
The film didn't commit to the musical genre, as the musical sequences didn't advance the story forward or heighten the emotions of the scene. The film works more as a courtroom drama as the audience sees the aftermath of all the characters, the world, and the impact of the first film. The mixture of courtroom drama and musicals could work if the balance of the two genres is right. There is more in favor of the musical genre, which isn't the issue, it was more of how it was handled. The majority of the musical numbers were displayed as Arthur or Harley's fantasies. Nothing wrong with this decision, but they just rehash the moments from the first film and do nothing more after that. They just have Lady Gaga sing everything, and we learn nothing from that film. Therefore, the musical aspect of that film just feel underwhelming. While the musical aspect didn't work well in this film, the courtroom genre wasn't its strongest as well. Most courtroom films are meant to be a balanced argument of ideology in a very intense trial. There is only a good build-up, particularly in the Paul Waddles scene, however everything else just feels like a rehash recap of the first one. Therefore, the audience will have nothing new to see. Again, this adds an underwhelming feeling to the film, and it would have been interesting to have, young Bruce Wayne or even Alfred be a witness testifying against Arthur, as they had a small part of the film, but they definitely had a massive deal in the ending of the first Joker film.
Quit acting like a little bitch.
Moving aside from the use of genre, there are some good moments in this film. The performance from Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga are effortless, given the fact that the character Lee Harvey Quinn was barely established. The production crew has done an amazing job on the visuals and sound. I can only respect Todd for throwing ideas on a dartboard, but the story he made overall was just underwhelming. Audiences love the transformation of Arthur Fleck in the first film, and it made so much money and won awards. It would be no surprise that Phillips had felt so much pressure for a Joker 2 story. So after watching the film, I was just completely baffled by the story and the overall ending, where Arthur Fleck gets stabbed by a Joker and does not get the death penalty ordered by the court. We ended the film where we started. We reached nothing in this film, but I still had this interest in finding out what Joker Folie Deux was trying to say to its audience. And I've done that by rewatching the first Joker film.
He's actually trying, what a nerd.
And by doing so, I rate Joker 2 in a higher rating just a little bit. In the first Joker film, Arthur Fleck was made into a symbol for the downtrodden, portraying him as the Joker, a messiah of chaos. Arthur was wearing a mask that gave him any kind of joy when he killed those Wall Street men in the subway. When the news came out, they highlighted that this was an act of a masked clown vigilante, demonstrating the defense of the helpless lower class of Gotham. Then afterwards, we see groups of supporters wearing clown masks protesting and praising the downfall of the upper class of Gotham. Arthur believes people are seeing him now and thus believe in who he is, a Joker. When Arthur went to the Murray Frank show, people didn't see Arthur kill Murray on television, they only saw the Joker kill Murray. Then when the supporters got him out of the police vehicle, he celebrates. Arthur is celebrating with the people who he believes see him for who he is. I believe Todd Phillips wanted to challenge Arthur's beliefs in this film by showcasing how the audiences never really saw Arthur for who he truly was, a sick, helpless, and vulnerable man. Arthur was ridiculed by the authorities, made into a mere entertainer by the public, and is mistreated by Harley. Thus, Arthur gave up being Joker because he was being viewed by an idea of him, not for who he was. Arthur was never the Joker in the Batman '89 film. Arthur was never the Joker in the Dark Knight film. Arthur was never the Joker in the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video game. Arthur was never the Joker. Yes, this film doesn't accurately represent the comic book villain, the crown prince of crime, the Joker. This film represents society's tendency to glorify mentally ill individuals as messiahs, exploiting the vulnerable for selfish purposes. And what's funny about the reaction to this film is, we are those supporters in the films, believing that in the second, Arthur, the clown prince of crime, would win at the end. But we, the audience, end up as those victims, idolizing a sick, helpless, vulnerable man as a messiah. We are victims of falling into fantasies.
So, what now?
This realization doesn't fully make up for the lack of commitment in genres, the amount of ideas Todd Phillips was throwing in this film, or how the ending was handled. But with this kind of understanding and breakdown, I hope you have a different perspective to this film, whether it's major or slight or none at all. Do what you love and be happy.
You, Joker! Hey, get off this!